So deathbed costs are the one thing that people don't actually have a good understanding over. And it's very, very important because your entire estate planning is based on the amount of money that you anticipate will flow to your children. Recent calculations over real life scenarios that we've dealt with have shown that with some investors, up to 33% or more of their estate can be paid in deathbed costs. Now, what are deathbed costs? This could be anything from estate duty to capital gains tax on any assets that you might have, executors' fees, any costs in the estate to move properties in and out of the estate. And these costs put together usually amount to a fortune, leaving your heirs with far less than what you anticipated that they were going to get. And the worst part is if the estate is not liquid, if it doesn't have money, it becomes even worse because then these assets have to be sold and they will never reach your heirs. Now, there's only a couple of ways to actually try and mitigate against this risk. The one way is to have enough insurance policies in place to make sure that when these costs arise, there's an insurance policy that is able to cover it. But now remember, some of these insurance policies are also taxable. So you need to make sure that the insurance policy is high enough to make sure to cover the tax that it itself will incur. So that is one way of doing it. Make sure that you plan this out properly. The other way of doing it is trying to move your assets out of your estate before you pass away and giving it to the people that you anticipate will inherit the assets. Problem with this is if you start giving them away, you're going to land up paying donations tax in any event, which is basically the same as paying their estate duty. So this too is not always the best idea. And then the last way, which works great, especially for investors that have quite a number of assets, is trusts. Getting these assets into a trust, and from this point onwards, only buying assets within the trust, so that when you pass away, the trust retains those assets and your beneficiaries can actually still utilize them or benefit from them without any taxes or deathbed costs being paid on them.
Okay. So yeah,